The biggest mistake people make when learning English, and probably one of the most common misconceptions, is that people think that they need to study English. And I say, don't study English, live English. And now let me explain what I mean. What does studying mean? And how do people usually approach this process? And how do people perceive studying? Studying means getting knowledge about something by reading, examining it in detail, or researching. We usually perceive studying to be hard and boring and something that you can usually complete and leave behind, like a course, or when you study in school, you can't wait to finish it and forget about it. When people think that they need to study English, they usually think that they need to take a course or work with a teacher one-on-one for some time, and that'll be enough. When they finish it, they will know English and they won't need to go back to learning again. Boy, are they wrong. Well, to be fair, to each his own. If your goal is just to pass a test like IELTS, then yeah, you pass a test and you forget about it. That's why it's important to determine your goal. Do you need English to pass an exam or test? Do you learn it for fun? Are you actually serious about it and you want to truly become fluent in English? Do you need it for work, or do you have an intention to move to an English-speaking country? A lot of people do need to just pass the IELTS exam. So they study for that, they get their band, and they just relax and stop because that was their goal. You can reach a certain level in English and maybe even a very good level, but then what? If you just quit practicing and using English, your skills will worsen. Of course, you can take breaks from learning. If you go a month without saying a word in English and not listening to anything in English, you'll be fine. But if this period expands to a year, you most likely are going to have to work on some skills once again, especially speaking, and you might forget some vocabulary. That's why I prefer living English. What do I mean by living English? You need to surround yourself by the English language so that you have no choice but to use it. You need to incorporate it into your life so much so that it doesn't feel like learning anymore, but is just a part of your everyday life, part of your routine. This way, you will not forget English, you will not lose your skills. On the contrary, you will be only improving every day, little by little. You probably won't even notice your progress because it's going to be a constant thing. But mark my words, one of these days you'll be told that your English is great and you'll be amazed by your English. And you'll think to yourself, but wait, how did this happen? That wasn't hard at all. And that's the beauty of living the language. You improve while not even realizing